Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Spiritual sex and candy, yeah.
Hello, gorgeous beings, and welcome to Spiritual Sex and Candy. I have got my co-host, JP Adkins, our Freedom Jedi. Hey, JP.
Hi, Heather, our beautiful Shamanic Sweetener.
Oh.
Happy Pride!
Happy Pride. It is Pride Month. We're both the hot mess today.
Yeah.
It's not
I'm trying for you, baby. I'm trying for you. We got the dance music going.
Yeah, we're both.
For many of the things that we're going, for me, it's for many of the things we're going to talk about in this episode. So, yay! Perfect day for this.
Yeah, today is the perfect day. I mean, our shows though are pretty good timing in whatever is kind of going on with what
Always.
What's going on with our lives, right?
You know what?
And it's
really
episode
sucks?
11 already.
Yeah, you know what really sucks though? See, working with a psychic, things that you don't realize when you're working with a psychic, and you pick up topics, 3 weeks, 4 weeks in advance. I should just go, oh, this is a roadmap for my life. Okay, all right, cool. All right, I know it's coming now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right. Yeah, it is like that, where like we pick, because I mean, we talked about these a month ago, what we were going to do long before Pride, so that we, we plan a little bit, people. I'm not saying a whole lot, but I mean, we plan a little bit when it comes to this.
Even all the things were in the right order.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Hood Buddha's here. One of our beautiful people. We love her so much. Oh my goodness.
Hi, Hood Buddha.
And we have our favorite, one of our
besties,
Tina Marie. I love her too. Hi, baby. Happy Pride, guys.
Happy Pride. Happy Tuesday. We're talking about hooked up but not hanging out. We're going to navigate the gray area of casual relationships in a digital age. We're talking about dating apps, peeps. That's what we're talking about today. And before we get started, we are a trigger warning. This here is your time to exit, because Jeff and I are trigger warning walking. We will trigger you. We're going to talk about it all. Sex, drugs, and everything in between, healing, our spiritual paths. You never know what you're going to get when you come hang out with us. And because it is Pride Month, this month is all about the community, right? But we're not just talking about like, oh, we're going to a gay pride festival. We're talking about the real parts of why we have pride, what is going on in the gay community itself, what needs to be talked about, and allow people to be aware of what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the things that I really set out in coming up with when we were talking about the themes of this month is really talk about the things that people don't talk about, and that people that are outside the community may or may not know about. Yeah. Or may not know, and that are still relatable, obviously, the people that are outside off the rainbow, right? But yeah. I can promise you that someone you know is on the rainbow, someone close to you. Yeah. We're everywhere, as the theme says. So a little more understanding, a little more things here, is always helpful. It's always helpful. And guys, as a gay man, I am gay.
Well, if we don't talk about it, then people don't. Someone has to talk about it.
Right.
Someone at some point has to talk about it. And that goes for everything, right? Mm-hmm. Like someone has to talk about it so that people can be aware of it. And in this day and age, dating apps are like, which I'm so bad at that. I will say this over and over again. I'm neurospicy and I'm awkward as fuck. And people think that I'm like one of the cool kids. I am not. I never was. I can just mask really well, and I got really good at mimicking back. Does that make sense? Like, I match the vibe, so I can just match your vibe. That's how I've succeeded. Made it through this life. But I'm awkward. And when I date, I'm super awkward. So, like, if I don't like you, you probably think I'm flirting with you because I'm real chill. That's how I am. I'm loving. I'm caring. But if I like you,
I'm
it's awkward. I cannot flirt. I sound like an idiot. I turn into a mean girl. I'm like the girl that punches you.
it all depends on
Punch
the
your bro. Like,
and I think that's really part of this conversation with the last couple weeks. You all know that I'm on a chakra journey. I'm on a healing journey. I've been doing some really crazy things, and this month I only have 4 more days of this, Heather, and I get to move on. Thank God.
I don't know. I don't know if
moving
I'm
on is gonna
thanking the
help me.
gods for this, because I'm really afraid when you start working on your sacral chakra, but then I feel like I need to be doing mine at the same time, and then that scares me even more.
So I've been working on the root chakra, and guys, the root chakra is your raw everything. Your raw,
Yeah, it's survival.
your survival, your procreation, not necessarily sexuality and sensuality, but
Right, we're not
procreation.
talking about relationship, right? We're
not
talking
talking
about
relationship. We're not
primal.
right, but it's also safety and security and home and being in comfort.
Right.
It's there too. Like, I'm trying to find the right word because I know that it's not love, right?
No.
Because that's where else. It's comfort. You have to be comfortable and safe and like on that very basic food, shelter, water, those kind of basic levels of that. And what I have found is that I went from not having a very much of a libido for a couple of years now to all of a sudden feeling like I'm 16 and having all kinds of things and starting the apps again. By the way, this is 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks after we discussed all these things. And so if I just follow I can tell you what my life is going to be like if I just look at what our discussions are going to be.
I know.
So
it's true. And so I have a story with that. Okay, can we cut the music? I'm sorry. It's just overstimulating in the moment right now.
I totally got it. So yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Been,
it's 1 hell of a day today.
It's a whole day today.
Oh, it's a whole day today. It is a whole day today.
It has been a whole day. It has been a whole day. And
then I downloaded an app the other night. I went out to dinner with the boy child, and I was like, well, we're doing this because I did the research for this episode. Now, like I keep getting these apps, right? Because of AI, and I'm putting stuff in Google and searching out, information on what we're talking about. So now when I'm like watching my reels and stuff, it's like every other reel ad is for a dating app. Sorry, my sage is like super burning. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna download one. By the way, they usually last about 24 to 48 hours on my phone before ADD kicks in and I'm bored. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, no one has piqued my interest in 48 hours. I'm out. By the way, that's how this is gonna go. And it's already been like, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm already over it. It's been 24 hours.
Have been finding everything I've ever wanted in my life has been coming to me like every you know, in
Yeah.
different forms, different faces, and one of the things that is interesting that I'm finding that's interesting is that so far, um, what has been showing up has been things that I've put out in the universe for a long time, and because I had turned off my libido
Yeah.
for a while, um, now it's like, oh well, everything you want is right here. Here's your buffet, and it's really been a buffet, um, which is really weird for me again because I
And
haven't
just
done
for the
this
record, you guys, I actually hear all the details of all the things that
way more
all
detail.
Steph's.
She got a picture the other day, so there was. So I want to talk about two. Is it okay if I talk about um the last two Saturdays? Well, I'll just go with the last two Saturdays. Um, because they're each one
I
had
mean,
their.
it's your life. You talk about what you want.
I
I
got it.
mean, we could do whatever you want, babe.
Well,
We
I
could do
think you
whatever
know
you
what.
want.
And if you guys don't know, there's a shirt for that. You go and if you have not checked our merch store, we have some really. Heather is doing such an amazing job with coming up with shirts and funny things and things that you want to wear. And she made a shirt for me this week that says "I'm a slut" because we don't slut shame here. Um,
We don't slut shame.
and I'm not a whore because I'm not getting paid for it yet. That might be coming too. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
Because the new boy, but that's a whole nother conversation. I think I found my OnlyFans. Um, we've been joking that I need an OnlyFans, but I can't actually do OnlyFans, so I got to figure out another way into it. I think I found another way. Um,
I mean,
Heather hasn't heard that part yet.
I learn something
So,
new every day. Every conversation.
so a week ago Saturday, not this past Saturday, the Saturday before, I met somebody at a party. Um, I think I've talked about me being a member of the Bondage Club here in Detroit, and we had a play party. And I met somebody, and he was cool, and he was great. And um, ooh, I'm like, do I tell all this stuff? Um, there are
Too
details
late.
here that, right?
I
I
mean,
start the
well, you don't
story.
have to give all the
Right.
details, but
No, but it's I'm a switch in the community, in the leather community, and what that means is that I can both dom and sub, and I'm about 40% submissive and 60% dominant. So I'm pretty close on both sides of that. So I'm pretty 50-50. And the guy that I met that Saturday was a dom and was a really nice guy, really great. And I went to his house not too long ago. And it was we had fun together. And the thing is that it didn't, for as much as we connected on a lot of different levels,
right.
when it actually happened, it didn't connect. Right? It was like, for me personally, it didn't hit the dom levels well enough,
Right.
or the sweet level well enough, and he was somewhere in the middle of those two, and because he's probably somewhere in like 75% dom, and he's
Right.
really sweet and he's really loving, and like that shows up too. And it wasn't, neither one ended up being,
What
not
you
that
needed right now.
needed right now and needed in that moment.
Right.
And
Right, because you've been over the past month or so. I'm putting Jeff's business out there now. Hear about it. He has got to check a lot of boxes, like
I left
things off your
boxes.
list, right? Like
Right.
everyone has a list, or if you don't, you should
You
make
should.
a list of things that you
Okay.
want to do or try, like because you should have a
It,
list.
you
Mine is a
should.
pretty vanilla list because I've done some shit. I've been kicked out of a porn store, adult store. out of the, like, we got kicked out. A partner and I got kicked out because I
put on
gave
their
head to a guy that was not. We invited someone in the booth with us, and you're not allowed to do that.
Did it not
I
have
don't know.
glory holes?
Huh?
Does yours not have a glory hole?
I don't know.
So the ones around
I
here
don't know.
do.
We were doing drugs, and
Yeah.
I mean, we were high, and like, what can we go do? We live in Vegas. We're like, what can we go do?
Right.
So that's what we went to do, and then we got booted, and we were like, okay, and we left.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, we didn't care.
Yeah, I got put on their
That's funny.
The difference is, instead of getting booted out, I got put on their wall. They took a picture and put me on the wall. You know, I tend
Anyway,
to,
sorry, I didn't mean to take away.
no, and one of the things that you should get from this, one of the things that you should get from this conversation, what I would like you to get from this conversation is have a list. Have
Have a
things that
list.
you actually enjoy, what you
Yeah.
want to try, things that you never thought you would try. Okay, things that were too dirty to try, that you might not want to try on you, but you might want to try on someone else because it kind of turns you on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
and trust, and I trust and believe in the last 2 weeks I've
Checked a lot off the list.
chopped a lot and have to now like come up with new things. Luckily, I'm creative like that. So again, why you guys want to, when I get my OnlyFans, you guys actually want to watch the OnlyFans, I promise I won't be in it very much. You won't see me.
It scares me a little bit. I don't know that I already know too much, so like,
right. So that one was Dom Boy. I'm gonna call him Dom Boy. He was great. He's a really great guy. He's a really nice guy, honestly. And I wouldn't mind seeing him again. It wasn't
right.
it wasn't bad. And it might have been the time, it might have been the energy, it might have been everything. It could have been, I
Right.
don't know, the
Well,
moon phase.
and sometimes there is for some of us, like, even in that situation, even if you're part of a club, if you really kind of dig someone in their energy, you might not want to just jump right in and sodomize them. I don't know.
And I might have been in a right. No, and I think that he could have, if I were staying in town, guys, you also have to remember I leave town in 20 days ish.
Right.
So I have 20 days left in Michigan.
Right. So you're not like looking to have a long-term anything, hence why you're on the apps that you're on, right? Because we have to talk about all the different types of apps. There's an app for everything, by the way. There's an app for everything. Like, the app I downloaded is specifically for curvy women. That's their advertisement, is curvy women. Woo Plus. Too funny. And in 24 hours, I got one guy that I liked. I was like, all right, let's see. And then, but he is boring as fuck, by the way. Like, I can't actually get him to have a conversation. He actually wanted to, he asked me to read his energy. That was the first thing when he asked me to describe myself, and he found out what I did and who I was. And then he's like, so what do you read from my energy? And I was like, okay. And then I had another one who he said, hi, I think he said greetings. And I responded back, and he goes, do you own thong underwear? He goes, you're sexy. I said, well, thank you. And he goes, do you own thong underwear? Like, yeah, I probably have a couple pair. Like, okay,
Brown chicken, brown.
And then he goes, yeah, those are my favorite kind. Like, that's my favorite kind of underwear. Well, I would assume so, because you asked me if I owned any.
And it's a second conversation. like the second thing, hi, greetings, and then
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah, he told me I was sexy, and then he asked me if I had thongs, and then he was like, "When was the last time you got fucked?" And I was like, "Really? Really? That's..." And you know what? It probably works. It probably works.
Mm-hmm.
It does not work on me. I'm confident in who I am. If you think I'm on a dating app because I can't get laid, that's funny. Like, I'm doing
I
it
know better.
because it's entertaining for a minute, and when it's not and I say for a minute because when it no longer becomes entertaining, I remove it.
Is it still on your phone?
Huh?
I thought you were deleting it earlier.
No, it is still on my phone. Though the one guy who who I liked, and he sent me a message. Even just now, I was like, I'm getting ready to do my podcast. Like, and he goes, "Okay, keep in touch, honey." And I'm like, ew, of all the words you could call me. I hate that. I know another guy who likes me who calls me hun all the time. Only he spells it HUN. And I'm like, ew. Ew. Hi,
Trisha's here. Hi,
Trisha.
baby. How are ya?
How are you, gorgeous? Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I'll try another one. There's another one that's like bagels and something and bagels, coffee and bagels and coffee. I don't know. Another one that's been coming up. But there's ones for bikers, LGBTQ specifically, right? There's
Oh my
my son
goodness.
downloaded one the other day and we laughed about it because of how many different ways people can identify in their sexuality. I'm so glad that you got to see us
Welcome.
live.
Yeah. So knowing that it's not endgame,
Yeah. Makes a
and
huge
having
difference.
it makes a huge difference if you're gonna be on the apps, guys. Now, there are apps that are set up more for that. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can like literally, but you really have to go at it with a different strategy. Just like you would in a bar. Like
Right.
think of, the difference is, are you going to the bar to hook up or to talk to somebody, or the community rally? I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever. Are you
If you
going
want to meet a certain type of person, go where they hang out.
right?
If you want to meet someone who goes to farmers markets, you have to go to the farmers market. Like if you
Right.
want someone who is a farmers market kind of guy or girl, then you have to go to the farmers market to meet like
Mhm.
I know that's why I'm horrible because once I stopped being social, it's so hard for me now to be I love me some me time. I could go days and days and not that I don't talk to people, but like I could be in the middle of nowhere for days with no cell service and be like, "Oh," and do nothing.
This is one of the reasons why I do karaoke.
Yeah.
It forces me to go out in a way that I'm comfortable, in a way I don't have to do. I can choose to socialize how I want, and I'm entertained enough for me
Yeah.
to not feel like I have to be completely in the mix or feel like I'm left out of the mix.
Right.
So the last time I went out when it wasn't karaoke, a guy I dated was with all the people I wanted to talk to. And so I was like, I didn't, and he kind of gave me like a bad vibe at the time. Like it was
It
like
was
one of
like
those days he
awkward.
gave me, it was awkward. And not that we're awkward, we're friends. We've went out to lunch since not too long ago.
Right.
But it's like it was an awkward day, and he was like kind of brushed me off and like
That's
didn't want to
weird.
talk to me for some. And then he was talking to all the people I wanted to talk to. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go over to the other side of the bar, and then I felt like I was on the other side of the bar from
Right. Then it
everybody I
was
wanted to talk
awkward that way. Yeah.
to.
I had to find something.
So
I'm so ADD today. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm if you're watching, I need to like scribble or do something because I'm like playing with rocks and I just need to be doing something. Okay.
it's all good.
I'm in
Um,
overdrive today.
but the great thing about Dom Guy is that I got to play some. I got to tick off some boxes. Don't get me wrong. Things were good, and then I met someone else like 2 days later.
Right.
Okay, who for the first time in a long time. Now it's new. It's crazy. Don't take this is going on the record, but don't take this is dopamine 101. I know it
Right.
is.
Yeah.
Like I'm not but it feels like if you've ever seen Twilight, it feels like I imprinted. Like from the moment I saw this guy, it was like, oh my goodness. And so every night since Saturday, again, this Saturday's boy, and maybe there'll be a next Saturday's
You've
boy.
got flavors of the week right now.
Yeah, I've had flavors of the hour last week. So
The I am a slut shirt is very befitting of Jeff right now.
this month, I had more
Yeah.
sex in the last 2 weeks than I did all last year.
So there's parts of me that want to do that. Which really, if I had a vehicle right now, I might. To be
It's a
honest, if it was like a little more, if I had a little bit more freedom, I just might.
yeah. Well, I
But
think the biggest problem with it is that
but I want a stimulating conversation. So like I am not looking for the dopamine hit. There's a high to it. When like I've used dating apps for this that we talk, the hangout hangover, where you get the hookup hangover after you've hooked up with someone and um, you know, sometimes there's shame behind it.
mhm.
Um I've had that where I'm like, "Oh, did I just do that?" Um, you know, but there's been times where I downloaded them just because a bunch I needed a bunch of dudes to tell me I was beautiful.
And that's part of it. So the apps do that well. They are a dopamine hit. They're
Yeah.
hunts, and and it gives that little, oh, they like me, or they don't like me,
Yeah.
or they validate your deepest inner crazy. This one
Yeah.
is the new boy. We're gonna call him Leaky Pig because that's his name.
What's his
I
name?
Leaky Pig.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's
I nickname all of mine
that
because
I
it's
have
funner that way.
I have the fantasy of actually changing his name legally to that.
That's wrong.
I know. I got it. I understand my depravity. I am exploring the depths of it while I have no filter. Um,
I mean, hey,
everyone fucks funny to somebody. Um,
everybody fucks funny to somebody. That's right. I mean, to each his
so
own.
yeah, it's been fun. We've had and so the difference is I was with Don Boy once and was like, it was hitting. It hit good places and bad places, and it was
Right.
kind of there. And then I have Subboy. I have Leaky Pig that went to the other side of that, and I started talking about putting him in my RV with me, which I have always been adamant that will never happen. This place is too small. If I
Yeah.
need that was going to happen, I would get a bigger RV. They have to have their own space. They have to, they can travel with me. It's not that I don't want them with me. I just don't want them in my. Well,
Well, yeah, because it's our workspace and our like
yeah,
you're making like it's not just traveling. Like you
right.
are live doing podcasts and multiple podcasts and
I'm picking up another podcast, guys. Stay tuned. Uh, this is craziness.
I'm a little upset about this.
Are
I'm
you a
just
little
kidding.
upset about this?
I'm not.
I'm
Not
sorry.
really. I
It's
just wouldn't do it to you. No, just kidding.
Yes, you would.
I don't know that I would want to. I'm having so much fun with this one that I don't. This
This,
one's going to be so much. Like it's just going to
yeah,
grow into something huge, and I'm down with that. So I
and this is my fun podcast. This is the one where I get to talk about everything.
yeah.
You know, there is no filter on this podcast, guys. If you didn't realize that, you know, we did give you the
Right.
disclaimer at the beginning,
If you've made it
but
this far, we are trigger
like,
warning, right?
um, but the whole purpose of telling you that story is that for a long time I wasn't on the apps, and I wouldn't be on the apps, and I was really going through a journey. And one of the things that I talk about when I talk about the apps, because I do work with gay men, and the apps are so prevalent, like it is like second nature
Yeah.
that the apps are there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's insane, and because it is harder to meet guys, gay men, outside. You know, yes, you can meet them in the grocery store. I've done it once. Um, once.
Yeah, I'm at the grocery store all the time. How come I can't meet a man at the grocery store? That's the only place I ever go is a grocery store and the doctor's office, and not even
I
for
don't
me.
know. Are you not hanging out in the produce area? Oh, because you're not allowed to smile at guys.
Because they're not what?
You're not allowed to smile at guys at the grocery store.
That's true. I'm not allowed to make eye contact.
Right. So you're not allowed to.
It could be
You
that
need
I'm just not paying attention.
right.
Yeah.
Are you not hanging
Yeah,
out in
usually when I go to the grocery store, I'm like, I'm in the grocery store probably 2 or 3 times a week because it's around the corner. So, like, we don't think anything of, oh, we need milk. Let's just go get milk because
right.
it's not like we have to drive 20 minutes. It's 2
Mhm.
minutes away from the house, you know?
Yeah. The difference between being here and being in Adrian. Like
Yeah,
here, like I can walk to a family, the new Fresh Market, Family Dollar, whatever it is.
right.
Um, but and they're I realized that they have the necessities.
Yeah,
Like if I need milk, that's where I'd go. I'd walk over there real quick, you know,
right.
and literally walk to the corner, take
Ours
the
isn't
dog.
quite that close, but yeah. But I
Yeah.
don't pay attention. I just go in and I look. And then there's the part of like, could I go to a bar? Of course I could.
Mhm.
There's one up the street from the house. There's one across the street from that. And they're like little local bars, but I don't drink.
Yeah.
I don't
And
drink. And so like I don't want to go to hang out at the bar because I don't want to meet a guy at a bar that's hanging out at the bar because I don't want to hang out at the bar. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I
I
don't want
was
the
just
local guy that hangs out at the bar. I've dated him before.
uh I just said that I wanted to go. So a friend of mine asked me if I wanted to go to Pride in downtown, and I decided I didn't want to. And I had 3 different friends ask me to go. Are you going
Right.
down? Are you going down? Can we meet up? Blah blah blah. Blah. And I'm like, I'm not feeling it. And I'm just at an age. I've done it, been there, done that, and I will probably go to the one downriver. That one is a little too. There's a lot of restriction there, and I might go to the one that just is a little less. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
The difference between being downtown at a downtown event and one of the community events.
Okay.
So, and there's one actually, I guess in Adrian too. So I can look that one up and maybe go that one instead. You know, whichever makes sense for me.
Yeah.
But I was like, I just want to go to boba. Let's go and get a boba in a wrap or something like that, or like a shawarma. And because I'm definitely in a Middle Eastern location. I'm in right outside Dearborn. You know, let's go and do a shawarma
Yeah.
in a smoothie. You know, like
Yeah.
that sounds like fun to me right now, and that's what. And with Leaky Pig, he works third shift or second shift, so I don't see him until late night. So, and that's when one of the issues too is that I'm not going to bed until 5 o'clock in the morning, and then have to get up and like
You have the hookup hangover today.
I have a hookup hangover, and I've had 3. What is today? Today's Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've had 3
3
days of
nights
this,
in a row.
3 nights in a row of, and tonight will be another one, and have to, because I imprinted. The dopamine is good. He sent me 2 messages during this that's made me like, uh-huh. So it's kind of fun. But, so can you find a long-term relationship? I mean, it's one of the questions on this. And
I know people who have.
yeah, I think
My
that you
roommate's
can.
brother met his wife on, I don't know, POF. I don't know. I don't know which one. But they met on one of them. But there's like one. There's a biker one. There's for curvy women, men who like curvy women. There's Christian mingle.
Yeah.
There's one I believe for Mormons. There's any flavor you want.
Yeah, in the gay world, you're not on Grindr. Grindr, you're not on Sniffies. Okay, so Sniffies, girls. Let me talk to you about Sniffies for a second, okay? Because I think everyone needs a warning about this site.
Okay.
It allows you to go on the site anonymously. You don't have to log in. Okay,
That's a little
to talk to
creepy.
people.
Right.
Okay, it's on the browser. You don't have to download anything. Okay, so a lot of married men are on that app.
Oh.
A lot of married men
I've
are
never
on
even
that app.
heard of it.
Exactly.
Until I mean, until
Right.
you bringing up a conversation over the past couple weeks.
It is, so it is, if you are in a relationship, I hate to say this, check the browser history for Sniffies. It's sniffies.com.
Oh, there's your public service, women.
My public
Go check
service,
it
if
out.
this
Or
would
you
be something
think
that would,
either way, right?
right, if this is something that would bother you,
Right.
okay, and if you see it on there, go get tested.
Wow. Is
And
it
the
like
reason,
for hookups only?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, this is like literally like, I was thinking, do I have a tab open? I don't have a tab open. Just like literally what the conversation looks like. Hey, how's it going? Good. How are you? Great. What you into? Let me see a pic. When are you available? Awesome.
Got it.
Like literally, it's that quick. I joked
See,
one
that's
time.
what freaks me out because I'm like, now do not get me wrong. I have met up with people. I have, my roommate one time got mad at me because not here, but, when I was in Colorado, my one roommate got mad because my phone service was turned off. So like and I never left the house. So I was using Wi-Fi, but I went across the street to meet this dude. And I was literally like in our neighborhood. We never left the neighborhood, but I got in this guy's car and my roommate was mad because he couldn't check on me. And I walked to the house and he goes, threw his credit card at me and he was like, pay your bill right now. Because if you're going to be hooking up and going, like, I need to be able to get a hold of you.
Yeah.
He was such a good guy.
And safety is
on so many
important.
levels, not so much on others, but in situations like that, like he was like, no, it's not safe. You have to be safe. So,
Mhm.
I mean, be super careful because you have to be safe. And
And
I've done some I drove 30 minutes and hooked up with a guy in a hotel room it was not very long. It wasn't even worth the drive. Can I just say it was not worth the drive?
I have had an 8-minute hookup.
Yeah, it was not. It was like
The whole thing
he
happened
was
in 8
not
minutes.
groomed. Like he did not manscape. It was just oh
What are
god.
your thoughts on manscaping?
Huh?
Now that you brought that up, what are your thoughts on manscaping? It's kind of fun. It's an interesting
Let me
topic.
just say, I am very hygienic when it comes to that, even as a big girl. Like I'm very maintained. I'm very maintained. Let's put it that way. even when now I'm not as, but if I when I'm with someone, I'm very maintained. I'm lazy right now just because ain't nobody doing anything. Um, I prefer a man to be at least clean it up. I don't want a face full of your smelly pubic hair.
Yeah.
Just like you don't want a face full of mine. Like,
Right. I totally get it. You don't want the.
I mean, I don't know how else to say it other than that, but I don't want a face full of your bush. You don't
My
want. I know a bunch of men who say I don't care, but if your shit is growing around your ball sack, please, just a trimmer, just manscape a little, please. Take some pride in your junk.
my advice to guys is a number 2 on their clippers.
There you go.
If you take a number 2 to the clippers, it's still there. You're not going to feel like you're bald, but it's trim enough that people aren't going to get hairballs and maybe have flossing their teeth as they give you head.
I have an electric shaver. Best $20 I ever paid. I do it with the no guard just because and when I'm smaller, I shave, because it just is comfortable for me. I don't, it has not, and it's never been about a man. It's never been I never did it because a man was like, I like you bald. It was never about that. I live it's 107 fucking degrees outside today. That's what the app says. 107 fucking degrees outside. It's sweaty and gross and yeah. So I'm just one of those. It's for me. It's not for you. But please take some pride in Manscaped for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, don't shave it off because if you, I mean, unless you're one of those twink boys that have no hair anywhere, then you continue the no hair anywhere, But
right.
And I say all the time, if you want it gone, you have to shave it. I can promise you, there's nothing better than someone licking your freshly shaved balls.
There you go.
It's amazing. I love it. But I'm not doing it. I'm not keeping it up. So, you get your number 2.
Right.
When it starts getting unmanageable, and I'll do a number 2, and I'll do a shearing, and especially in the summertime because I have stick straight hair, so this will stick out to here. And I'm like, oh yeah, in straight, not a curl anywhere. It's no.
Too funny.
Let's brush this. I have to brush my chest hair if I'm wearing something that you can see it. So just to make it look like it's laying down.
Yeah. See, my dad was a pretty. I mean, he wasn't overly hairy, but he had hair on his chest. My ex-husband, that one time when I was married, he was a pretty hairy guy. I really prefer not hairy, to be honest. I'm not a hairy
It depends on the guy.
I don't mind I don't mind a little bit of some but if it looks like you have a sweater, I'm good.
Yeah. It really does depend on the guy for me. There are some that it depends on the guy and their hair growth pattern.
True.
Too.
Yeah.
If they have a little tuft right here and it looks like it's out of place, then let it go. It's okay. It's okay, right, sweetie. Maybe you'll grow up later. Drink.
So how do we weed out on dating apps to get what we really want? Is it just be more specific on because I'm horrible. I'm horrible about setting up a profile. What am I looking for? I don't know what I'm looking for. Someone who actually has a conversation, who doesn't just want to, hey baby, want to fuck? And see, when I put that stuff, people are like, oh, you're so, yeah, because if I'm not, you guys are dickheads. That's what I feel like. And women are just as bad. So I'm not I just want to throw out there, I'm not men bashing. In my experience, and because of my energy, I have to throw out there, I know because I'm a vibe in and of myself, and I get that. Men say things to me that they would probably not normally say to other women because they get verbal diarrhea when they're talking to me. So they become so comfortable so quickly that I hear all their deepest, darkest wants and dreams and everything that they want to do. And to be honest, it kind of becomes a turnoff. So I have stripper security who I talked to for quite some time that I met on, I think, Facebook dating. No, I take that back. He hit me up through watching one of my reels. And we went and had a drink, and it was all right. Like, he talked about himself the whole entire time. And
Oh, that's
he gave me his, like, talking about his ex and her dogs and like this chick he dated and that chick he dated. And I'm like, oh, okay, And then I ghosted him, and then he hit me up months later, and like yeah, but it got to the point where I'm like, yes, dude, I know you want to eat my pussy. I get it. I get that that's what you want to do. Could we just talk about something else just for a little while? Because you are not following through on anything that you're going to do. So can it be a different conversation other than, damn, I want to fuck you. You're so sexy. Let me eat your pussy. Like,
and sometimes the
and
expectation,
not that that's not a good thing sometimes, but like,
right?
can we just, after months and months of that and no follow through on that, because I'd be like, let's make a plan, dude, because I'm a busy woman. I have to you're a fuck buddy for a reason, and it's so that I could pencil you in and come fuck you and go about my day. Like,
You're a stop off in my day, not the
right. I am a Capricorn through and through in that. Like, I am gonna schedule it in. And because if you're a fuck buddy, then I need to pencil that shit in so that I can make some time. And he'd be like, you're always so busy. And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, you need to make time for us. And I go, I try to make time. You have 2 days off a week. I'm trying to at least hook up a couple of times on those days. Then if you earn it, I'll get up at 6:30 in the morning and come fuck you when you get off of work. And I will start my day by swinging through and having breakfast and a good lay. And then I'll come home and do business. Like,
and,
okay.
and a protein shake. It's a win-win.
Right. But you have to earn that shit. Like,
Right.
I'm not getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning if I don't know that the dick is going to be good on the other end. If I know that the dick is going to be good on the other end, then I'll get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and fucking come over in my pajamas and jump in your shower with you because you just got off of work.
That was one of the things that
Start
that
my
was
day
the
that
start.
way. That sounds like a fabulous way to start my day, but I got to know it's
That
worth getting up that early to do it.
that was the start of the not okay with me and Dom Boy, actually,
Yeah.
because I went over there to take a shower and the shower was weird. Like,
Was it gross?
it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was no. He was immaculate. His apartment was
Oh, okay.
beautiful.
I mean, he looks like
Again,
an immaculate kind of guy.
right? He's one of those people. Like, it really
Okay.
was nice. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Um, and but the shower time was awkward. Like, there's
Got it.
a flow when you're taking a shower with somebody,
Yeah.
and it has to be playful, flirty, or serious for
Yeah.
it to flow. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
again, it just
It just wasn't. The
wasn't.
flow wasn't there.
The
I
flow
think if
wasn't.
you were, I think he is, well, he's showing you that, like, you'll be able to find a balance at some point. Like, he's the one
Yeah,
that had to be stuck in between all of these others to
right.
go, remember, at the end of the day, really what you're going to be looking for is that guy that you guys can kind of switch back and forth, who still likes to go play outside a little bit, who we can keep it spicy, but it's not all the time where it's because like what you're doing right now without getting into detail because it's no one's business, but like you can only maintain this one for like so long before you're gonna burn out. Like you can't. This is not,
Yeah, and really
which is
has happened.
okay because there ain't nothing wrong with that either.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. What I love about this,
I can do whatever I want.
I do whatever. Leaky, believe it or not, Leaky Pig is helping me devise my next workshop. So, which is kind of funny when you think about it. But one of the things that is important is how to find desires in and out of the bedroom.
Yeah.
And the apps. One of the good things about Gay Boys in the gay apps, they are specific. This is what we like. This is what we're into. It's kind of like a laundry list. Are you into it? And I have literally turned down really hot guys before that I would never turn down in person because I was in an area that was a smorgasbord. Back when I lived out in the like gay country.
Right.
Like because I lived in a community that really was like 60% gay. So I would walk 3 blocks and Grindr has 50 people on the screen. It'll show you the closest 50 people to you.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And that screen would change enough to be significant of the top 50 people that are closest to you if you walk 3 blocks.
Wow.
Okay. So just to give you an idea of just
That's like the candy store for gay men.
Right. And it really was. It was ridiculous. Like, and so I turned down people I would never turn down in person. Ever turn down in person. Ever. Drop that gorgeous, because in that moment, what I wanted was X. Whatever that X was. And I don't even know what that X was at the time. Really, I don't. Even now, there has
like,
been.
Damn it, I can't even name who it was that I was giving up for to have some really hot men.
That's about 5 years ago though. At this point, that was right after. Right. No, longer than that. Eddie's. So today, I won't go there. That's gonna change the whole
like
vibe.
last week for me.
Yeah, exactly. That would change the whole vibe of this conversation. I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
So, but what is I'm finding through Leaky Pig. I just love that name. I really do want to like change his driver's license just because it's fun. It's so equivalent. What I'm finding is that I have this really protective side with him. Like I really want his life to be better because he knew me.
Yeah.
And so we've talked about goals and dreams and what he wants to do with his life and what his dream is and, how to build his true awesome life as we're doing some of the like most depraved things I've ever done in my life. But in a very positive way.
Yeah.
Like all in service of him being happy and him being fulfilled. And it's a very different role. And I've never had it so prevalent, and the energy work I'm doing is insane. Heather would be so impressed with me.
I was just I actually, as you were saying that, I'm like, yeah, that's that tantric. Being able to be a conduit for someone to open themselves up to learn about themselves and
yeah, it's been such a different experience all the way around. Like I said, I've actually thought about him coming with me, like literally in this RV, not even like an add-on to it, but
So see, there's the answer. You can find what you're looking for on the apps, whatever that might be. Just know what you want when you get on there, right? I think that's like the big, because I don't even know. Like I do. Of course, I would love to find someone that would travel with me and come hang out and do all the crazy shit with me that I want to do. And to have a partner to do that who evens me out, because so they cannot be another neurospicy person, by the way. Like he has to be neurotypical to deal with my neurospiciness. I truly believe that if you're neurospicy, you need a neurotypical in your life, because I need someone who like will let me be feral but keep me in line.
And I think that
Is that a good way to put it?
yeah, but you do have to know why, and you have to know why you're there. Like
Yeah.
personally, you have to be very comfortable with yourself and know that. And only way to be healthy in that kind of way. So even in this relationship, you know, I'm very cognizant not to rip this boy down.
Right.
I don't want him there. So yay, my chicken's here.
Yay.
Hey Madison, thank you so much. Anyway. So
gotta eat
dinner. Almost perfect timing. So
yeah.
But I've realized, you know, one of the things that I always think about when I think about Dom subplay, not that there's anything wrong, we talked about this last week, is that, you know, really know why you're there and what you're getting out of it, and really check your emotional health and your mental health before you play, because sometimes it is that is the driver of that, and it can be very dangerous on both sides of
Make sure
it.
you're with someone who is, if you're doing in that scenario, make sure that whoever the other person is checking on you mentally as well, that they care about what your mental state is.
Right.
But yeah, if you're going to get on dating apps, to be honest, I think that dating apps are kind of just, they're there, and it's, if you use them correctly and you are specific about what you want and don't entertain the ones that you're not interested in, I weed them out very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, you know, when I'm looking for a very specific type of person, and so I am super picky about what I will swipe on, which, you know, I don't know. It's entertaining for a minute, but then I'm leaving in a few months, and so that makes a difference. Like,
right.
You know, because I know that I'm not going to be here for probably 3 months, I think is what we're looking at. Before October, I'll be gone. And so, yeah,
yeah, I'm down to 20 days. I'm like, whoa, it's 20 days.
So then I'm like, do I really want to put any effort here if I'm just going to be going someplace else? You know what I mean? Like, and then I thought, well, can I put my location? Which one can I download that I could put my location in Florida, so then I could be like, I'll be in that area in a few months if you want to. I'm just looking to see what's out there.
Yeah, and that's okay too. And knowing who you are, like really having a good clue who you are, what you're looking for, and knowing that there's something that you are trying to get from this, and what can you give in return?
Yeah,
because it's an energy exchange.
For sure. So if you guys have stories about dating apps, please, if you have success stories, maybe you met someone. I knew a girl who was on Plenty of Fish, and I worked with her where she went out with this guy, and like they never looked back, and you know, and she thought it was just going to be a hookup, and so did he, and then it was not, you know. So that happens, and
as of now, you know, the leaky pig is semi-permanent.
Right. It's a success.
I'm not looking.
Way.
Right. Yeah, I'm not looking. I haven't looked in 5 days for anyone. I haven't even thought about it.
And it could be successful just in the fact that you found a hookup that you were looking to find a hookup, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
that can be the sex.
Next week is, we're going to talk about drugs and sex.
Ooh, party
I'm
and
just gonna
play,
leave it at that.
boys.
Drugs and sex. That's what we're talking about next week.
Mm. It's big topic in the gay community. I know. And I'm really curious to hear about what it is in the straight community, because I've always been curious, because I know what it looks like on this side,
Right.
but how does it look on the other side? Like I can't imagine.
I'm probably not a good one for this conversation. I mean, I have done both and used both, but usually it's with someone I've already been, like, I've never like gone to a rave and done
Right.
and like hooked up with that. I've never done, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about how does it help, why do we do it, inhibitions, all that kind of, we're gonna get into it.
We're gonna get into it because that's what we do.
Both ways. So thank you guys all for coming and hanging out with us and talking about dating apps and hooking up and your desires and being straight about what you want. And I hope everyone has a great day. We love you.
Love you. Be good. We're good at it.
Everyone here at the True Awesome Network asks you to please subscribe, like, comment, and spread awesome.